So should we have sided with a winner there too? Should we side with Nazi Germany?
That one's a little more difficult.
Oh, wow. Why?
Because that wasn't Trump.
Oh, okay. So it's okay when Trump, anything Trump does is essentially okay. Like if Trump woke up tomorrow and he was like, "Hey, man, we're gonna go out and send $100 billion to Ukraine," like you'd support that.
So that part, no, because again, I'm not okay with the Ukraine aspect.
So then it's not Trump. I mean, seemingly you hold red lines here. So why does it? What is your logic change on supporting the quote unquote winner between Russia and?
I guess it would be that the consequences now.
What consequences are you dealing of from what?
Like if like I didn't have to deal with Germany, like that wasn't my stuff. I'm alive for it. I have to deal with it. I have to deal with Russia.
If you were alive during World War II, would you support America entering into World War II on the European front to combat Nazi Germany?
I would have to say it would depend on what Trump wanted to do with it.
If Trump didn't want to do
I wasn't really I don't think
exactly.
FDR was good.
It would depend on what. So if Trump was president during World War II and Trump didn't want to fight Nazi Germany, what would you think?
So I would, morally, I would be against it, but I would just go with whatever he said, to be honest, on that one.
Okay. So do you self-identify as a member of a cult?
I would say both sides are cults.
So you do self-identify as a member of a cult, correct?
Again, I would say both sides are cults.
So that means that you're in a cult because you're on one of the two sides. So you self-identify as a member of a cult, correct?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so say it. Say, I identify as a cult member.
Oh, I would definitely say, as MAGA, we are cultists.
Hey, man, you're a sheep. I nothing more to say. You're just like an NPC. Like, you know, like those motherfuckers that run around in like GTA.
I mean, I would say that we're all kind of sheep.
No. Like, no. You're like a GTA NPC. We're gonna go and kick the NPC and move on to the next guest. I mean, how could you guys seriously like expect me to like I don't know. Am I gonna take that seriously? I self-identify as a cult member. Dude, unbelievable. Rita, thank you so much for the $15 donation over on PayPal while we're getting our next guest up in the box. Thank you so much for the love, Rita. That is so incredibly kind of you. Everyone show some love to Rita. That is RITA. Also, Kelly with the $5, Andrew with a 10, and then Lyric, thank you for the 5 as well. If you're watching, you want to support the stream, you can find me on Venmo and PayPal, link in the bio. Then also Sin, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. And Salio, thank you for the $20 saying this kid can't think of for himself. Unironically, he can't. Thank you for the love for the $20 Salio. That is SAILIO. And what is going on, MK? Do you support the president? MK, we're going to give you around 5 seconds here to unmute, and MK just dropped. See, I don't understand why people like hop in the queue just to come up here, mute, and drop. Like, please don't do that. We're going to move on to the next guest here. Everyone just got to give us a moment. Quite frankly, what's going on, Rap Quid? Do you support Trump?
Do that.
We're going to move on to the next guest here. Everyone, it's a kid's
hello.
I do apologize. We kicked them off super duper quickly. We got them off ASAP. TikTok terms of service ensures that I have to kick them off very, very quickly. So we kick them off very, very quickly, you guys. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do. I support his economic policy. Thank you for letting me in, by the way. I appreciate your time. But I just wanted to hear your argument against tariffs.
Okay. Well, before I give you my argument against tariffs, what specific economic policy of his do you support and why?
I support tariffs because I think that the situation we have with Chinese manufacturing and how they're kind of subsidizing our consumer economy is unsustainable. And I think it's dangerous to kind of be reliant on Chinese consumer goods, especially with the quality they're made in.
Okay. So you're saying that we need tariffs on China Thank you for the justification of 1/170th of his tariffs. Now justify tariffs on every other country, and then I'll tell you and explain why you're wrong about tariffs on China. We can get
Okay,
there.
I don't
But first, I want to
necessarily.
hear about the blanket tariffs on every single country.
So I don't necessarily agree with the blanket tariffs, but I do think that American economic self-determination
Okay,
is
so you
important. I
only
don't believe in
support his tariffs on
autonomy.
China?
Yes, I support his tariffs on China.
Okay, so the Biden-Harris administration had tariffs on China.
Good for the Biden-Harris administration.
So then
I
why did
voted
you?
for
So
Biden.
so if both candidates had some tariffs on China, why would you vote for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris, knowing that Donald Trump's outcome would be significantly worse than our own? Because not only did he support some tariffs on China, but also tariffs on every other country in the world.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree with him supporting tariffs on every other country in the world
I just
because,
thought you said that
again,
they're bad.
I don't think that they're bad. I
So you
think
think they're
that the way
good?
he implemented them were bad.
Oh, so then you disagree with him.
Huh. I disagree with the way he implemented them, but I agree with the China tariffs.
Oh, so once again, you only agree with the Chinese tariffs, which Kamala Harris also ran on, which I
Yes,
disagree with. But this
sorry.
means that Kamala Harris was a better
preface?
candidate than Donald Trump because they both had the Chinese tariffs that you agree with, but he also had tariffs on every other country in the world, which has sent America towards a recession and cut trillions of dollars
Yes.
off of U.S.
So
markets, which made Kamala Harris a better candidate in the context of your own beliefs.
So as I was trying to say, I don't agree with how he implemented tariffs on the other countries, but I do believe that he went about implementing Chinese tariffs correctly. That was my point.
Do you have reposts about SA-ing 14-year-olds?
No.
Okay, well,
Do I?
I'm seeing I've seen 2 comments about it so far. I say that we check it out.
Okay.
Give me just 1 second, you guys.
All right.
Yeah. We're just gonna kick you. Your reposts
What?
are really weird. Yeah, those reposts are crazy. He also has like racist reposts too. He has a repost saying that like black people steal like children's Halloween candy. We're just gonna go to move on to the next guest. Everyone just gonna give us a minute to get the next guest up in here. He's like reposts about like babies too. Yeah, like essaying children with R. Kelly. All right. Everyone just gonna give us a minute, guys. If you're MAGA, just let me know on that channel. I'll get you up here. Hey, Darby, I appreciate you for the $5 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much, Darby, saying you're amazing. I do appreciate you so much for the love. All right, guys. Everyone just gonna give a minute. All right. You guys, we're just looking for that next Trump supporter. It is really hard to find one. We got Sergio loading into the box. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay. So why do you support the worst president of your life?
If Trump didn't exist, no one would know who the fuck you are.
Well, that's not true.
What would you be doing right now if it wasn't for Trump?
I'd be debating social issues. You understand that I had a career in content creation on the internet prior to when I debated politics.
That's great, but the reason you're blowing up right now is because of Trump. All you do is talk about Trump.
Well, all I do is I talk about what's wrong in our country, and Trump just so happens to be 99% of it.
Right. Yeah. So, anyways, my point is, no one would give a fuck about you if it wasn't for Trump. So you should thank him.
You know, I think in a sense, I don't owe a thanks to Trump for anything. In fact, I think
you do. He's the reason anyone knows who you are.
Okay, Sergio. So why did you vote for him, you angry little boy with no emotional regulation that is jealous of the success that I have because I'm really good at demonstrating how bad your king is?
I'm jealous of you.
Of course you're jealous of me. I'm literally so fucking good at describing with very clear language exactly how bad your king is. It just pisses you off. And like honestly, you're saying if Trump didn't exist, nobody would know who Dean is. Holy fucking shit. That would be great. Dude, if I didn't have to come on here for 4 hours every single day and try to convince half of our fucking country that they support a lunatic, senile narcissist, and nobody knew who I was, and I was just fucking frolicking in the grass, that would be phenomenal, dude. But I mean, unfortunately, here I am to tell you and everybody else why you have absolutely no good reason to support the guy you do.
I'm so jealous of you. I'm jealous of you.
I appreciate you for being open about it.
I wish I had your life.
One of the first steps of coming to terms with different things is admitting it. So you're doing good, but tell us why you support Trump.
I'm admitting that I'm jealous of you. Your life is amazing.
Okay.
What's your advice on how to have a cool life like you?
Well, I mean, probably start like supporting resistance movements against
Supporting.
fascists, authoritarian, losers,
Right.
narcissists.
What
It's a good place
about
to start.
what about the haircut? Where do you get those at? I like that too.
No, well, I'm not going to tell you where I get my haircut done. Now, do you want to continue to talk about how much you're in
Where
love
do
with
you-
me, or do you want to talk about Trump?
Why don't you want to tell me where you got your haircut done? I like it
That's why would I?
because it looks sick.
Okay, I have like my own barber. He's pretty cool local.
Yeah. Does he? What does he like? What do you ask him for? Just a bowl cut, or what do you ask him for? I like it.
It depends on the day. Some days I'll do a bowl cut.
Yeah.
Some days I won't. Yo,
I really
Robinson, thank you so much for
really
the
like
$20. Shut up one moment. Robinson with the $20 donation over on YouTube Super Chat. Said, I actually despise how these MAGA cultists sit there and defend blatantly bad things. Every day it gets worse, and I wonder what their breaking point will be. They don't have breaking points. There's no such thing as a red line for Trump supporters. Thank you so much for the love, Robinson. Yo, real quick, Sergio, could you please thank Robinson for their $20 donation?
Thank you, Robinson.
Good boy. So why do you support the president?
I support you. I think you're awesome.
Okay. I mean,
I think you're awesome.
Not the first incorrect statement you said on the live, but
Say it
I
again?
just want to clarify that you're not here for a debate, right?
Well, no, I wanted to tell you that I regret my vote because you made me change my mind because of how awesome you are.
Oh man, that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that you agree. Right?
Yeah, I regret my vote because he hasn't. He said he was going to take away my rights, and everyone said that, but he didn't. Because I identify as a woman, and he said that he would take away women's rights, and everyone said that women's rights would be taken away, and they haven't been taken away yet. So I don't like him anymore.
Okay, real quick, what's a woman?
A woman is me. I'm a woman.
Okay, so let me guess. Are you like? So you're the only woman alive? Because if you're defined woman as Sergio,
No.
that just means that the only woman alive is you.
No, it doesn't. I am an example of a woman.
Okay, well I didn't ask you for an example. I asked you for a definition.
Why do you need a definition? Do you not know what it is?
Oh, well, I'm asking. Well, so you're saying if I ask you for a definition of a term, that must mean that I don't have one myself. Without superimposing false statements on my view, I'm just gonna ask you.
I'm sure.
To define
I'm sure
what a
you.
woman is. But anyways, no, you're not a woman. We don't have time for this. You're a man. Like, yeah, I like. What's that?
Don't misgender me.
Buddy, you think that I give a fuck about your troll? Like, I mean, it's just mass transphobia. Like, I don't. You're not a woman. You're not a woman. You're a man. You're a man. You're a man. You're a man. Like, listen. The way that I define woman does not include you because you do not have the agenda. You do not have the gender identity of a woman. Okay, just gonna continue to waste my time.
Don't misgender me.
I thought that it was the right that was okay with misgendering people, but now we have somebody on the right complaining about it.
Can you not misgender me?
So I am correctly gendering you by calling you a man.
Why? How do you know I'm a man?
Why? Because that is your gender identity.
What's a man?
What's a man? I'm unwilling to go into a conversation with you about what I think a man and a woman is. A, because TikTok restricts the conversations, and B, like this is just like your way to troll. So Sergio, I'm just gonna go ahead and like be blatantly clear with you. You support Trump. You're coming up here to waste my time. I understand that you want your 5 minutes of fame, and I think you have to stoop so fucking low to get that 5 minutes of fame from a liberal that denies everything you believe. But at the same time, it's pretty fucking ironic because it demonstrates how attention deprived you are because you likely treat everybody in your own interpersonal life the same way you're treating me right now. But I'm going to give you one last opportunity to tell us why you support Trump. If you're unable to do so, we're just going to assume that you're willfully ignorant. You do not substantiate your beliefs with any evidence, and you're complete and total waste of time. In fact, I'm an environmentalist, and I think that the breaths you're exhausting when you speak language, when you're speaking language to me right now, is just useless, baseless carbon emissions that we should probably get rid of. Meaning, I have good reason to kick you off the live. So go ahead and just give it one last opportunity to tell us why you support Trump, or I'm just going to move on, man. It's very simple. But I would suggest you act your age. And you actually try to demonstrate the right and a light that you want it to be. Because when you come up here representing MAGA and you're just like, oh, I'm a cisgendered man who's going to say that I'm a woman to try to own the libs and tell the Dean that he has a bowl cut and say that Dean would only be relevant if Trump, because of Trump, like you're just affirming everything that the left says about the right. Like the left says the right's weird. You're affirming that one for sure. The left says the rights are like bullies. You're affirming that one for sure. The left says the right is willfully ignorant. You're affirming that one for sure. You're assuming that the left says the right is uneducated. You're I mean, fulfilling that one for sure. So I mean, do you want to continue to affirm everything that the left says, or are you actually going to give me an argument?
Deep breaths. Did you just read that off? Did you read that off ChatGPT or something? That was a lot. Wow.
No, I didn't read ChatGPT, Sergio. Yeah. I read you.
Right. You just
I didn't read ChatGPT, motherfucker. I read you.
Oh, you did. Yeah. Nice. So you can.
So I'm gonna go to give you one last opportunity to tell us why you support Trump just before I kick you, man. I mean, I'm being so gracious here. I'm really extending my good faith to somebody that doesn't deserve it. And that's just because I'm a nice guy, Sergio.
You are a nice guy. You're a super nice guy.
So I'm going to give you one last opportunity to tell us
You're
why Donald
super-
Trump is a good president.
You're a super nice guy.
Sergio, if you cannot classify a reason why Donald Trump is a good president, I'm going to kick you from my live stream. I'm going to count down from 5 with my fingers. When my fingers hit 0, which will look like that, closed fists, you are going to be kicked if you have not begun to describe a reason why Donald Trump is a good president.
Do 10 instead. I can't count down to 5.
And moving on to the next guest. Let's go and see what Hunter has to say, everybody. We're going to go to get Hunter loaded up into the live. Everyone just going to give us a minute. Godzilla, thank you so much for the $2. Hey, what's going on, Hunter? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And why is that?
Well, I do not appreciate the Democrats' gun policies. I do think that they're trying to take my guns away. So there's that. And Kamala Harris, I don't think I could vote for someone that has a video that says, "How dare I say Merry Christmas?" So I just
What?
Kamala Harris has a video that says, "How dare I say Merry Christmas to someone?" And then, like, I think that's really weird to say. Personally, I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it on TikTok multiple times, but I do not. I'm a Republican for the most part. I mean, there's some things on the Democrats I agree with, and there's some things on the Republicans. So I just
So I mean,
vote for who I think is
it took
best.
me like 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and like finish here. It took me like 10 seconds to search this up on Google, and I'll actually like have you know that what I'm gonna start reading is off of Fox News. Okay, so let's read it
Okay,
together.
go ahead.
It says, then Senator Kamala Harris in 2017 warned Americans to not say Merry Christmas until there was a permanent status for some undocumented migrants. Okay, with reading one sentence of context, all of a sudden makes total fucking sense to me. The day was Christmas. People were saying the day was merry. The day was anything but merry because there was millions of individuals in our country that were being denied basic human rights due process and were being exploited by the American government. So that makes sense to me, man. But I mean, if you think her saying that we should advocate for a good quality of life for more people before we say Merry Christmas in a very like hyperbolic sense is a bad thing, you must think that Donald Trump raping a woman or calling for the exclusion of all new Muslims coming into America is like the worst thing ever, right?
I mean, that was civilly. It wasn't like, I mean, I wasn't there to see him rape that lady, so I can't. You don't know that, and I don't know that he really did. So
Wait, you
I
just
mean, we won't ever know.
Yeah, you weren't there, therefore you don't know. You just got done telling us that
I
you're a
mean,
Christian, right?
no, I'm not religious.
So then why would you care if she says, "How dare you say Merry Christmas"?
I just think it's weird to say like something like that. Don't you think it's weird to say that? Like, I mean, that's just like a saying. Like
I
you
have a
like
question.
okay, let's say it's Christmas. You
weird.
come over to my
I
house.
explained to you why it's not weird. But anyways, so real quick, is Epstein guilty? Just unmute your mic real quick, Connor. Is Epstein guilty?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
So
I
you were
wasn't
there on
like
the
I said.
island, you sick freak?
No, I said I wasn't there.
No.
I said I
So
wasn't.
so you don't think Epstein is guilty?
See, what
then?
you do is you turn things around. You
Exactly.
add ifs to all these things.
That's exactly what I do. I mean, you said that we can never know if Donald Trump is guilty because you weren't there, but now you're saying that Epstein's guilty. So you were there on the island.
Probably. I said probably. I don't know. I mean, you don't know. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't fucking there.
Oh, okay. So you think it's just as likely that Epstein is guilty as it is likely that Trump is guilty because you weren't there for either circumstances?
I think that there's a lot more evidence toward the Epstein versus Trump. Can you agree or disagree?
Well, I haven't studied the Epstein case, so I wouldn't know the evidence submitted inside of the criminal courts. I want to ask you a question. Is OJ guilty?
I think so, yeah.
Name one piece of evidence submitted to the civil court that held OJ guilty.
It's just a personal opinion, man. I mean,
so let me get this one straight. So there's
you're
two
obviously
civil
a
courts.
hater towards Trump.
So there's two civil courts: a civil court that held OJ civilly liable, and a court that held Donald Trump civilly liable. As it relates to Donald Trump's civil court, you're like, you weren't there, therefore you can't know, or like there's a lack of evidence, therefore you can't know. But then as it relates to OJ, you weren't there, but you do know. You can't name a single piece of evidence, but you do know. See how that's a direct double standard? Where you actually do accept the conclusions formed by civil courts, even when you don't know anything about the civil court or the evidence submitted and such, as present within your conclusion about OJ. But then about Donald Trump, I mean, you just remain willfully ignorant. You say that you weren't there, therefore you can't know, and you say there wasn't enough evidence, even though you've never looked at it. And you've also never looked at the evidence that was submitted to the OJ proceedings. But I mean, apparently, you believe he's guilty. I mean, how do we feel about this, Mr. Hunter? Go ahead and use those brain cells to tell me the truth. MAGA wouldn't exist without hypocrisy, contradictions, and double standards at every single turn. Pointing out double standards in the beliefs of a true MAGA cultist is one of the easiest things known to mankind. Hunter, you have to click on that little picture of yourself and click the icon of the mic and unmute yourself, Mr. Hunter. I'm really going to need you to click 2 buttons.
I mean, do you think
There
Casey
you
Anthony
go.
was guilty?
You figured it out, buddy.
I mean, we can go there. We can go there all day.
I don't
You
even.
think Casey Anthony was guilty? I mean, she
I
was
don't
in.
know
I mean,
who-
she was in court.
I don't know who Casey.
You don't know who
Anthony
Casey
is.
Anthony is.
No,
That is literally wild.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'll happily do some research, but I don't know who she is.
She has a Netflix documentary, or I think it's Peacock actually, and she murdered her daughter.
Great. Well, I'll have to watch it. Oh, wait, Casey Anthony. Is that like one person that came back 20 years later and made a TikTok?
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she's trying to be relevant.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm 20 years old. I wasn't super up to date with the proceedings, but yeah, she's totally guilty.
Okay, but she was found innocent in court. So why do you think she's guilty? But it doesn't fit your agenda. That's the problem. You're just a hater towards Trump. Anything that's negative that fits your agenda, you're just going to add ifs to every argument and then just spin it around.
Okay, so
It's okay, Dean.
also I want to clarify here. I don't think that she was found innocent. She was acquitted because of like what was the reason, chat? Like I forget the reason for the acquittal. Like once again, this was a very long time ago. But I like to clarify. I mean, you understand that this is just like describing like your hypocrisy even more than any of mine. Do you think Casey Anthony's guilty?
I think so. Yeah.
So you're telling me that the lady that was found innocent, in your own words, in a civil court is guilty, but the man that was found guilty in a civil court is innocent. Here, I have a question. So basically, you're saying that the jury inside of the civil court that held Trump liable ruled incorrectly, right? They didn't have enough evidence to determine that he was guilty, correct?
I mean, it's a possibility that he's guilty. I don't know, and I don't know with the Casey Anthony. I don't know with
Okay,
OJ. I mean, I wasn't there.
Wait! You just told us that you
it's
do
a
know about
possibility.
the OJ. You did say that OJ was guilty.
I mean, I do know. I don't know like every little thing. I've seen documentaries.
But you said he was guilty, right?
Oh, and and all this. I think he's guilty. Yeah. I mean,
name one piece of evidence
Casey
the jury
Anthony's
used to hold
guilty.
him.
I think Epstein's guilty.
Hey, name one piece of evidence the civil court used to hold OJ guilty.
Okay, so
can you?
So you want me to say that again? Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Name one piece of evidence
say
that
one more
the
time,
civil
please.
jury used to hold OJ guilty.
Okay, let's just use the example. The glove don't fit. So you must
I'm
have
actually
whipped up
pretty
the
sure
thing.
that that's what got him got the criminal proceedings thrown out. I don't know if that was a piece of evidence inside of the civil proceedings.
So I think that there's they knew that the glove wasn't going to fit because there was blood on it and it dried up and shriveled.
So what was a piece of evidence inside of the civil court?
I think there's that.
What was a piece of evidence inside of the civil court? Because I'm pretty sure that's why the criminal proceedings got thrown out. You don't know any. Okay, got it.
I mean, it's just opinion based, dude. I mean, it's just
Hunter, I'm just going to go ahead and be
like,
honest with you.
It's just opinion.
So I think what this is it's just an example of willful ignorance, okay? Like, typically speaking, if somebody's held civilly liable for something, if somebody's criminally convicted of something, we assume they're guilty unless there's evidence that would be presented to contradict the findings of the court, okay? But I'm even okay with taking it one step further and saying that in order for us to assume their guilt, we need to evaluate the evidence as presented in the court for good reason insofar as why the jury ruled correctly. right? But I mean, you don't even hold yourself to that standard because you think that OJ is guilty and Trump's innocent, even though you know the same amount about OJ's case as you do about Trump's, right? So that right there is a double standard. And then I also just think it is unfucking precedented because there's a lot of other things that Trump has done that like we definitely know because of like video or like sound documentation, such as when he boasted to Howard Stern about walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls at Miss Teen USA to inspect them while they were naked, or when he hit on a 10-year-old girl walking up an escalator saying that he would date her in 10 years. And now those two statements alone are definitely things that a rapist would do, right? So, I mean, like, please tell me why you support Trump, even though he openly boasts about hitting on young girls at Miss Teen USA.
Yeah, I think that's weird, honestly. I mean, that's really weird. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, there's like I said, I don't agree with everything Trump does. There's not everything that I agree on both sides. Like I'm not just like a
So
Trump
then
supporter.
what
But
do I just don't think you care. What do
I
you
think that he runs a country
what do
better.
you okay,
I
really?
think that he would run a country better than Kamala.
Really, name one of Kamala Harris's policies that you thought was bad for America.
Okay. So so like I said, I don't just bring up guns. Do you think that the Democrats would allow, or would they take all my guns away, or would they take AR-15s away, AK-47s, et cetera, et cetera?
Holy
Do
fucking
you
shit.
think
This
that
is
it's
the
right?
craziest pivot of all time. The answer is no. The answer is no. Hey, I have a question. Can you name any gun control passed under the Biden-Harris administration?
I don't. Like I said, I don't know that.
None.
But
none.
like I do. I have seen videos of Biden saying
none. And then also, can you name any gun control passed under the Trump administration?
Oh yeah, he banned bump stocks, which bump stocks are stupid.
Phenomenal.
Bump stocks are stupid.
So like
dude.
seemingly there's only gun control passed under Trump's administration, not Kamala Harris's. Now, one other thing, do you think that banning AR-15s is unconstitutional?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So then there would never be a ban on AR-15s passed by Kamala Harris's administration because it's unconstitutional. And right now the Supreme Court leans 6-3 conservatives to Democrats.
Yeah, but you literally have a video of Joe Biden saying you don't need this. Oh, just get a shotgun and shoot out his fucking window.
Wait, wait. First of all, Biden didn't run for president, and second of all, why would it matter? They want to be able to do anything. You think it's unconstitutional?
I don't think anybody should tell me what I can own, like gun wise. I mean, obviously, like I should be able to own, like RPGs, et cetera.
So I just want to clarify: you'll literally prefer president that destroys the American stock markets, destroys global markets, sends our country into recession over the candidate.
Why do you think it's okay for other countries to take advantage of us?
I'm going to go ahead and finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Jesus Christ, Hunter. So I just want to clarify that you think that somebody saying, hey man, I'm going to ban AR-15. I don't think that you should be able to own an AR-15, but according to you, it's unconstitutional, so the Supreme Court will never let that pass. That's worse than intentionally crashing the U.S. markets and sending America into a recession.
Okay, so I do not think that it's okay for other countries to take advantage of us.
Why are you pivoting?
No, I'm saying, no, like he added the tariffs, and then
if you're right, that means it would never pass because there is 6 conservative Supreme Court justices and 3 liberals. You intentionally in some intercession just because the other guy said that you probably shouldn't be able to own an AR-15, but if we're never.
Dude, I couldn't vote for Kamala off the simple base. You couldn't think about, like that's just like, and then you have,
I just want to clarify that that's just like I don't even know where that comes from. Like, it has to be like sexism, and the reason why I say that is because what happened.
I don't really care about color or race. I don't care. Somebody could be purple. I am talking.
So real quick, what would be the best way to do a comparative analysis on which candidate was better at speaking between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? Would you say putting them head to head, toe to toe in a debate that is unscripted is the best way of delineating who's better at speaking?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so they did that, and guess what? Kamala Harris cooked Donald Trump so hard that Donald Trump went whining on Twitter, posting all the alt-right polls he could find saying that he won. Well, then he started accusing Kamala Harris of getting the questions beforehand and having a fucking earpiece in her ear to get to have like her advisors tell her what to say to him. She
You
beat
also
his
had
ass
a
so hard
liberal.
that
You also had
he
the
started
people
coping.
fact
So
checking
if you
him.
think
You had
that it
people
is the
fact checking
case,
him,
so if
but
you
they
think
didn't
that it
fact
is the
check people's
case,
thoughts.
if you think it is the case, right, that she's just so bad at speaking, how come she absolutely whipped his ass in the debate? And now you're about to tell me, oh, Trump got fact checked more than Kamala Harris? Oh, dude, use your two fucking teeny